Hey, good Monday morning, my friends. MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa here. I knew mentioning 70 degrees would get you to watch, and if it didn't, I knew snowflakes would maybe make you watch or maybe make you shy away. So, hey, good morning to Andre Pino. Good morning to you. Ray Williams, thanks for watching. And Cherry from Gladwin, good morning to you. And Rick Beers, also, good morning. All right, so let's get into it. So we are going to have a frontal system draped across lower Michigan this week. So a lot of your, ordinary phone apps are going to show the cloud and the raindrop every day. And you're going to go, oh my, rain, 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 rain. Nope. I'm going to sort it out for you. Depends on where you're at. So here we go. And we start off, first off, with the current temperatures, or the temperatures, I should say, about an hour or two ago. And yeah, we made it to freezing or below in a lot of places. Ann Arbor, west suburbs of Detroit, Detroit Metro, Lansing, Jackson, maybe around the Grand Rapids area, officially 33, as coldest I've seen it so far. 29 in Flint, cold spot. Flint Bishop has always been a cold thermometer by a couple of degrees. And that doesn't mean it's an error, it just means that it could be also a cold spot. 31 in Saginaw, and then you get into northern parts of lower Michigan, mid-20s, and certainly the fall color change will accelerate now today and probably be in peak in the areas that we're trying to show peak color. You'll be in peak color here in the next couple of days. Here's the current radar, and we do have showers and thunderstorms off to our west, heading toward lower Michigan, but heading toward the northern part of lower Michigan and the UP. So that's where we get into computer models. This is what I call weather fantasy, okay? Because the models predict what is going to happen, and they do it quite well. So here we go with our favorite short-term model. And this is noon. So nothing real big, but some showers might be starting to creep up around Bloodington and heading toward Big Rapids. And we go through into early afternoon. And yeah, you might have a stray shower in the southern part of the state, 5, 10, 15 minutes or so. But generally it's going to be dry. Usually when a model shows something like this, it's aloft and not reaching the ground. But 5 o'clock, Traverse City, Gaylord, Petoskey, Charlevoix, and Cadillac, maybe down to Clare, could have some showers. And we get into this evening, and you might get a little batch of showers coming through Saginaw and the Thumb. So generally it is a dry day, especially into early afternoon. All right, now we look at the rest of the week and this stretched out frontal system that I'm talking about. And we go to the European model first on that. So here we are today. This is this afternoon, this evening with the rainfall, and this is overnight tonight. So maybe a little shower here or there. This is tomorrow. By the way, maybe a thunderstorm, I guess I should say. Now this is tomorrow morning into afternoon, and it turns more wet. The front gets more active in the northern part of lower Michigan and in the UP. But look at tomorrow, look at tomorrow afternoon in the southern part of the state. We're in what I call the warm sector, and we're heading towards 70 degrees probably. Now this is Wednesday, and the frontal system is still Wednesday afternoon, evening. The frontal system still way to the north in the UP, right across the Straits region, southern lower in the warm sector. Thursday afternoon, southern half, southern third, still in the warm sector. And then finally by Friday, the frontal system starts to sag south, and then by Saturday, Friday night and Saturday morning, the front tries to shift through. The warmth still holding it up, and this model is pretty good at waves along the front. And as a wave moves along the front this weekend, it holds the front up again, gets us back into the warm sector, and then finally by early next week wants to crash the front to the south. And right there, hey, right on cue, Halloween, October 31st, my unofficial, usually some snowflakes somewhere in Michigan flying. That would happen as you'd see the colder temperatures moving in and some bursts of some snowflakes or snow showers mixed with the rain showers. And as we get into next week, it looks colder, but we'll look at that a little bit more. Alex Pratt, good morning. Barb Cowell, good morning. Lamette Curdy, hopefully I got that one right. Gabe Francisco, I can handle that one. Good morning to you. And Cookie and Jose Martinez are watching also. All right, so this is the same model in showing what type of precipitation we're going to have. This is the time of the year where we deal with that. So, you know, what I would say about southern lower is today, Tuesday, and Wednesday, a shower possible, but very mild. And then as we go into the weekend, the front tries to come through, but look at early next week, the main storm system shifts on through, and then voila, Halloween, we see the snow showers possible. So changes afoot. Now, what does the U.S. model say? About the same thing. Shows the showers, the rain in northern lower Michigan, the UP. It's going to be a rainy period in those regions. This is Thursday afternoon, southern lower in the warm sector again. It brings that front through one time on the weekend, and then as we head toward Halloween, it starts to show that's Halloween. It starts to show the snow showers in northern lower Michigan also there. How much precipitation? Let's just take our short-term model out and go through the day today. Okay, so Cadillac by evening, you might have a shower in Traverse City and Petoskey and Charlevoix, but not Muskegon, not Grand Rapids, not Kalamazoo. Ann Arbor, you're dry. Detroit, you're dry. Flint, Saginaw, Bay City, my friends in the thumb, you're dry. Tonight, maybe a band of thunderstorms on the warm front. That's usually a thin band. You call up a friend in northern Michigan and say, wow, how it's warm here. And they say, wow, we had thunder overnight. So we go through Tuesday. This is Tuesday evening. Look, Saginaw, Grand Rapids southward, still dry. We go through Tuesday night and toward Wednesday morning. And look, Ann Arbor, Detroit, Flint, Lansing, probably still dry. Hey, thanks for joining me. I'm MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa. This is how we do it on MLive as far as a morning weather update. You get a lot of it. If you want, sometimes you probably honestly get a little too much, but it's different than TV. If you say, the guy's boring me now, you can log off. But I would appreciate a share button. Find the share button right now if you could. So we got 290 of us on here. Find the share button. Hit the share button, and let's see what that does. Okay, I would appreciate it greatly. Let's go back to the weather. So what we found is that you're going to be wet in the northern part of lower Michigan, especially Petoskey to Mackinac City up into the UP. We're talking over the next 2.5 days, we're talking possibly 2 inches of rain. While in the southeast, we're talking not much rain at all. Okay, so high temperature forecast through the week. And I promised you 70, so let's see if we can find them. Okay. Not today. Maybe close to 60 in the south and low 50s in the north. Tomorrow, in the warm sector, I would say we could have 70 degrees from Grand Rapids to Saginaw Bay City southward. Northern lower Michigan in the 60s. Wednesday in the 60s, depending on the sunshine. Hey, Jason Stewart, you are welcome, and thank you for appreciating my streams. Now, to Thursday, if we get back into that warm sector, we could be in the low 70s once again. And then Friday, we could be in the low 70s, anywhere from near Saginaw to Lansing, Kalamazoo, south and east, Ann Arbor, Detroit, maybe 75. You factor in some humidity, and guess what you feel like? And some sunshine? You feel like 80 degrees. Yes. Saturday, we start to stair-step it down into the 50s. Sunday, if the wave come back in, this is pretty far out to forecast exact temperature, but if the wave comes back in, we could go back to warmer in the south while it stays cold in the north. And then eventually, sometime early next week, it looks like the cold air collapses on us. And these are high temperatures by November 1st. High temperatures in the low 40s in the southeast, highs in the upper 30s in the northwest lower, highs in the low 30s in the UP. Probably a little overdone again, but point is that it's coming. Okay, so that means then that it's all over, right? And here we go into the depths of winter, whether you like it or not. Not necessarily, no. Usually our first cold that brings some snowflakes around Halloween usually lets up, and then we climb back to some 50s, maybe even some 60s. And so I want to show you the extended forecast out 16 days using the Europeans ensemble mode. It's important to understand an ensemble mode. I'm going to get a little geeky here on you, okay? So what I've been showing you so far is called the deterministic mode. That is all of the sets of equations that are typically the best forecast off of the European. But they're not always right. So then the modelers take and tweak the European model 50 different times for starting points, 50 different ways, and then they average them all together. And that gives us a better kind of general trend accuracy in the long term. Okay? So what we're going to look at then here is the ensemble mode of the temperature anomaly at the surface. So we know now, and when you see the oranges to whatever color this is, brownish, that means warmer than normal. So we know now that as we go into Tuesday, we could be, and this is in Celsius, so we could be 10 to 20 degrees warmer than normal, Fahrenheit. And this is for Wednesday. And then look at Thursday morning. We could be, 20 degrees warmer than normal. Normal now down into the probably mid to upper 30s. So warmer than normal by 20 degrees. You're looking at lows only near 60 this Friday. And of course, then here comes the cooler air. It fights it off on the weekend, and it crashes through early next week. This is Halloween evening right there, running about, let's call it 10 degrees colder than normal. And this is November 1st, 10 to 15 degrees colder than normal. And here's November 3rd, colder than normal. Here's November 4th. Oh, getting back toward normal. And by late on November 4th, maybe going to a degree or two warmer than normal, which, by the way, at that point is not warm. You're probably looking at average high temperatures, upper 40s at that point. So when I show you something like this, now we get to November 6th, and if we were to be 6 degrees warmer than normal, that gets you the temperatures back into the 50s. So point is, from me, is that it doesn't look like we are crashing into winter And we still have to look at the biggest factor in our weather in the fall is that the falls are warmer. So warmth does have a little bit easier of a time coming back at times. Each time it's not as warm because the sun has lost some power. All right. And November it's really tough to get a bearing on November the whole month, I'll be honest. A week or two at a time is how we have to take it, because November, the cold air can slip into the western part of the country. We can blow up a ridge. We can have beautiful 60s for a few days. Or that cold air can slide in the eastern half of the country, and we can go down and have high temperatures in the 30s. So November is really an iffy month at this point. But we do know that as we get into early November, we probably will still have some 50s, and I would not be surprised to see some 60, a day or two at least in the 60s in the southern half of the state. Northern lower Michigan, a little bit different story. You have a tougher time getting warmer now. All right, that is the MLive morning weather update. That's what we do. 9-ish. No set schedule. I guess I could be hard and fast, start it right at this time, but I don't have that kind of schedule either. So thanks for joining me on the MLive morning weather update. Make sure you like the MLive Facebook page, allow notifications, and also check our YouTube page, because after I do this, the social team saves it to YouTube, and then we share it. So you can always find the weather update on YouTube if you're curious. And unlike the TV stations, I'm interactive. So when you ask me questions here, I try to answer, or you can always Facebook or email me too. All right. Thanks for joining me on the MLive morning weather update. I'm MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa.